Help a brother out. You know what I'm saying?
So this is why I haven't gotten Bad Boys 3. This So I just watched Bright, the new movie on Netflix starring Will Smith and Joel Edgerton, directed by David Ayer. Now I know some people have been a little mixed on this movie. I've read a couple reviews. I waited a few days before I actually watched it because I've been pretty busy doing real life stuff, the holiday season, blah blah blah. I need money. At first glance, I watched this movie and it comes off as something that is a little ambitious, There's this whole world that they have of all these different creatures, of humans, of elves and orgs and brights and all these things that the movie doesn't really explain as much as it should. Given an almost 2-hour runtime, you thought that we would probably get a background on a lot of things, but usually as far as background, you usually get a quick, maybe few second flashback and some weird filter as to why things are happening. One of the best parts about this movie is Will Smith and Joel Edgerton. The Org and Ward, they steal the show. Every scene with those two is gold. They play off of each other so well that I almost wish that they were just in a better movie. That's not to say that this is a bad movie. This movie is alright. Ain't gonna win no awards for acting or story or anything, but it's definitely a very ambitious movie. We start off the movie with Will and his family, who exists literally only so you can care about his character. Because his character is kind of an asshole. He's an asshole for about 75% of this movie. Almost a racist, I guess? Because the orgs, I guess, are a race or a species or something like that. We meet his neighbors who just happen to be having the biggest barbecue on the front lawn in Los Angeles history. I don't know what's going on with that, but he said y'all need to crip walk y'all ass back to the barbecue, and I died laughing. We have a very cheesy, very forced scene with his daughter. Why you gotta be a cop? Everybody hates cops. And whatever. Since this is a buddy cop movie, we gotta get a car ride, and we gotta get some arguing. So we get the car ride and we get the arguing. It's very interesting. I don't know, I guess this is his first day back on the force. I don't remember if the movie exactly says how long it's been since he's been shot and since he's recovered and since he's coming back. But they really bring up the day like it was yesterday. Constantly. You meet the rest of the police force and they're even bigger assholes. Somehow they manage to out asshole Will Smith's character, who is also an asshole. The org, even from the beginning, is already stealing the show because he's not only sympathetic, but a very hilarious character. He almost comes off as a black dude who joined the police force. This movie is just like a walking social commentary, just like constantly throwing things in your face that just say, message. The daughter, kind of funny, all of a sudden, he tells the org to shut up and she's like, the org is a person too. God, there's no message in that. The racism, obviously. Orgs are treated as if they're not very much people because a lot of them seem to look like gangsters. I mean, I was looking at it and I was just kind of like, you know what? I could understand from all the orgs that we've met in this movie why people don't like orgs. But that is what they want you to think with racism. Even little things such as, how can we hate some people for what they did 2,000 years ago? Oh, that's not about slavery. That has nothing to do with the Indians being slaughtered. Before you know it, they end up meeting this dirty hobo homeless man who's wielding a sword. I don't know why he has a sword. Nobody completely explains why he has a sword, but whatever. Will Smith constantly brings up the time he got shot. Constantly. Like, we get it. You got shot. You think it's his fault, but you don't have to constantly bring it up. Another issue that I have with this movie is this repeating thread of just constantly trying to get Will Smith's character Ward to turn on his org partner. Constantly. Like, over and over, everybody tells him he should turn on him. Then we have, I mean, he gets offered by the IA. He gets offered by IA to give up the org. His wife doesn't want him to hang with the org. These Latin gangsters trying to kill the org. These police officers want the org. It's just constantly a whole bunch of people trying to get him to screw over the org. Like I said, Will Smith and the org are hilarious in this movie. One of the most laugh out loud moments in this entire movie is he asks the org, "Did you get shot? Any holes in you?" He says, "The only holes I was born with. How are your holes?" I'm sorry. That might have been the funniest part of this whole movie. And that's shortchanging the movie, because the movie is really funny. That's one of the things it's got going for him. It comes to logic sometimes where this movie has problems. How the Brights are just simply able to find them. And if you say it's a sense of smell, can they smell that far? Can they explain how far they can smell? There is one scene where there is a half man, half horse. Never explained. Is that a certain species? Is that like a Pegasus? I'm trying to think of what they call those things. But there's so many things in this movie that comes off as very ambitious and very imaginative. But they don't explain it. There's no explanation for it. It's like they're expecting a Bright 2, and then they'll explain some of this stuff. What was that flying in the sky? There is a shot of the city in which you see something on the corner right part of the screen flying in the air. What was that? It wasn't a fairy. Oh yeah, those fairies. What? Oh, there's something like flies, and they just kind of, and then the death of a fairy happens, and it's a little bit gruesome. Almost overly gruesome. Is this some kind of social commentary on how we treat animals that are seen as pests? Once again, what was that flying in the sky? Lobos comes out with a bunch of Latin gangsters. I hope you get that reference. Throughout the entire movie, the feds or the Brights, whatever they are, the elves, I don't know what you're gonna call them, but they're just a step behind the entire movie. They're almost useless. They almost didn't even have to be in the movie, except to justify them being there in the end and talking to them. Long story short, if I was to summarize this movie in the best way that I can, they find this Lady Gaga girl, they find a magic wand. The cops want him to turn on the orc so they can have this magic wand that I guess supposedly can give you $1 million, can give you this, can give you that, but for some reason nobody uses it that way. This magic wand, only Brights can touch it. So when somebody touches it that's not a Bright, that's just like a regular human, they explode? Where did the orcs come from? Who created this magic wand? Where did the Brights come from? Where did these elves come from? Have humans become like lower than them? Why are the elves the rich people? Did Santa help? A lot of questions. Nothing's answered. The Brights come off as like these soulless killing machines, and the only motivation you're given for their actions is the wand. And that they say the Lady Gaga girl is a traitor or something. I don't know when the movie wants to be taken seriously, or when it knows it's just saying dumb Orglish. She's speaking Orglish. I'm supposed to take that seriously, I guess. There is some brutal action in this movie, and I love action like that, when it's gritty, when it feels like it's real. The issue that I have with the acting is, unless it's a human, there almost always is a way that they find to bring that person back to life. And they don't even explain it most of the time. The Bright that is chasing after them the entire time, she is shot. She's not only shot, but she's wand. She's magic wand. And she comes back to life through healing capabilities that are never explained. Ever. I guess you just have to shoot them in the head or something, because it is mentioned once in the movie, shoot them in the head. But the clear signs, the rules of the movie are not ever explained. Is it illegal to kill an org? Is it illegal for an org to kill a human? I'm guessing it probably is. But most of the rules are not explained. If they shot in the leg, will their leg re-heal? It's just so many things in this movie that, given maybe, I guess, a good 30 more minutes, even though the movie dragged a little bit in the middle, given 30 more minutes, they could probably explain it. Ambitious movie, but comes off as overly ambitious. And that it has all these things that it wants to set up, but it doesn't want to explain. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm going to give Bright a 6.5 out of 10. It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie at all. It's just so much in it that they don't explain, and that you don't know if you should take it seriously until somebody's dead. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. How did you feel about Bright? Be sure to like this video, share on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and most importantly, give me Bad Boys 3.
Now look at you walking in here looking all pretty and angry and mean and good. I know you didn't get your hair done so you can just sit down and just sit still.
Hey, we trying to have a good time tonight. Let's go, baby. Let's go.